obviously your daily activities and day to day. You gotta wake up, you gotta like, you know how these people say, oh, I wake up in the morning and I go straight to the gym and I work out. For some people it's not realistic, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, people, we just finished training. We just finished training everything basically, and my shoulders are finished. My shoulders are absolutely smashed. Legs, I feel pumped. Feel ready, or they've been ready. This guy just finished them anyways. But that is a bodybuilder's. Is that a bodybuilder's workout? What's your normal split?
So it depends. It
Yeah.
varies. I like to go to the gym and enjoy my session usually, but I try to
Well,
focus.
today you didn't want to enjoy your session.
No. Today I wanted to.
That's why you put me through hell.
I wanted to shock myself.
You wanted to shock your hell,
based on what you said off camera. And then, so yeah, usually what my weakest body part is at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Cardio, bed, body oil, it's legs, hamstrings, chest, up.
Yeah.
Then I focus on that, make that a priority of twice a week.
Yeah.
And I work around that. If it's just trying to get some sort of consistency going,
Yeah.
it's going to be a basic chest and back, legs, shoulders and arms, and then do that, and then push pull legs. So yeah, usually that's how it works.
So you train more than one muscle group a day?
Yeah, all the time.
What about in a week? How many times do you train in a week? So
Okay.
So in terms of, so as we plan, let's talk about, let's start with the fitness side of things.
Yeah.
So obviously a regular gym goer like myself, I train one muscle a day.
Okay.
I train one muscle a day. But you're saying 2 muscles a day.
Yeah.
So how many muscles do you train? Do you train those same muscle groups twice a week? How many times a day? How many times a week do you train?
So it varies, usually 5 to 6 at the very most. 5 depending on the split, if I know I'm gonna rest that week. If not, then I'll do it in a different way. But usually 5 times.
So some muscle groups you train like twice in a week?
I will get pretty much, yeah.
Or like chest or shoulders and arms?
It depends on my weakest part. So my strongest part right now would be my back. So back I'll train once, but then I'd focus on, it's gonna be a lat session, is it gonna be a rowing session, kind of thing. Obviously I'll get some pull downs there, but it would be more like a 70-30, 80-20
So
rows to lats.
So some of your muscle groups, so for example, your back is like kind of a split thing. So you have a lat day.
No, not a lat day, a lat focused session.
Lat focused.
So if I was to do 6 exercises for my back, 4 would be lats, 2 would be rowing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If it's rows, then 4 would be rowing, 2 would be lats. It's not just 4 rows. I might put a lat in between a row session, but overall it's going to be more row exercises than a lat exercise.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because when people say hamstring focused and quad focused, I'm just thinking it's just gonna be hamstrings all session, like they split it in different days. Like some people say they train legs twice a week.
Yeah.
So they'll have a hamstring focus, they'll have a quad focus, and I'm thinking, okay, you're just focusing on hamstrings on one day.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, man. Well, actually, it makes sense if that's your weakest side.
Yeah, to be fair, I do train legs twice like that.
Yeah.
But don't forget, I'm only doing lats or like 4 exercises of lats and rows because I'm still gonna do like arms, so I'm gonna do another session. So it's not gonna be just focusing on lats throughout that session. So when I do legs is a bigger body part. It's just front and back, and then you have calves, it's basic. But back you have, sometimes you can even say your lower back if you're trying to get that low. Then you have your traps, then you have there's a lot to it, so you have to kind of think a bit more. But for your legs, it's just basic front. So if I'm doing legs, it's gonna be heavy squats, hack squat. We're lucky we didn't go for a leg session today. Bro.
After that warm up,
Bro.
how can a warm up be riding on a cycle for 10 minutes and then
15
more
minutes in total, yeah. 15
squats,
minutes in total.
jumps?
Yeah.
It felt like a whole workout. I was like,
What you've got depths on the thingy, and you're injury free. You came out nice as well.
Thank God for that, injury
amen
free.
to that. So So usually heavy squats, hack squat, leg extensions, and lunges.
Okay, so what about, like, obviously from what I'm hearing, like you split some of your, well not split, but you focus on certain muscle group depending on which is stronger and which is weaker.
Yeah.
So what if you're training back? If you have a back day, do you do deadlifts on that back day? Because deadlifts takes a lot of time.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of deadlift, just because there's a driving motion from the body. It is a good exercise, but I'm not a big fan of it because I don't have. When I go on a deadlift, unless like it's in my workout because I put it in there for a specific reason, which would be like overall mass or something, or I'm doing barbell training only for the week kind of thing. Then the deadlift would be in there. But other than that, I feel like if I go to deadlift, I want to deadlift as much as I can, for as much as I can.
So you have a different day for deadlift?
Yeah, so I try not to deadlift, I'd rather rack pull. Because I know myself, I would be stuck on the 180 for 4.
And rack pull is definitely good for lower back.
It's good for your overall back. You just don't get the lower aspect when you drive from your.
So you don't get the hamstrings?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing rack pulls.
Just straight, basically pulling. Because then normally I can squat a lot, right? But when I get there, certain movements that psychologically I can't. Doesn't say like I can push 110 on incline, but if I go to flat, it's a bit 50-50. Just to say. So sometimes I can't deadlift. I can do 200 rack pulls for reps and go, but then for deadlift it consumes so much energy to get that rate. I'm working hamstrings and all that, and I can just focus on my back. So as a bodybuilder, you know, as a fitness guy, you normally want to get your whole body involved. As a bodybuilder, you have to know what needs work and what needs focus.
Yeah, because the people who are like when you go on a show, the people who are watching you, judging you based on
little things like that.
Okay, so that's the difference between like a bodybuilder and a regular person. Like a regular person they're just training just for, you know, either general fitness or because they want to go on holiday and they want to look nice. Nowadays, no one, like unless a girl is looking at you and judging you the same way, you know, a bodybuilder is judging you. Because let's face it, most of the times people are training to impress the girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're training for. So like a regular gym girl like me, I wouldn't really focus like that. But it's interesting to see that you guys, like bodybuilders, focus on certain muscle groups like that. But yeah, that's.
It's good. Sometimes I get a bit too technical, but that's the thing. I think as long as there's logic to your training, right? It's more than 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So you want to start with dumbbells, for isolation, good for you. You want to start with barbell because it's compound, good for you. Everyone has different goals, different strength. It's completely different, but as long as there's strength, logic to your overall training, then and the more you learn, the more you understand how things work and play with logic. And it's just that and logic and science put together. And experience. Experience is personally down to you. So. Okay. Yeah. What about you with training now? What are you training right now?
I train every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
At home and at the gym or
just at the gym? Sometimes at home. If it's at home, it'll be like early in the morning when I wake up. I'll do like a few push-ups and sit-ups just to, you know, feel good about myself that morning. If I can't make it to the gym, because sometimes getting to the gym in the morning is a bit mad. Like with obviously your daily activities and day to day, you gotta wake up, you gotta like, you know how these people say, oh, I wake up in the morning and I go straight to the gym and I work out. For some people it's not realistic, isn't it?
That's
and moving on to that, let's talk about the lifestyle of a bodybuilder.